trees aren't green, the ocean is gray, sky is a vague blue, come my way. My room is a mess, it could use a hand. My favorite TV shows to capture in. I know must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise, I think I'll let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know I can't make it through. Every night it's the same, I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone now. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know all of my problems. I know. Where did it go? The feeling of thirst, desire to be a rock in my heels. I'm numb as a poison, flows in my veins. Guess I got used to avoiding the pain. I know must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise, I think I'll let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know I can't make it through. Every night it's the same, I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone.
Hello, friends. So you have seen a little bit. This is the first clip that I'm talking in this vlog, so let me catch you up. First of all, hello, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Keisha, and we're just doing a really random weekend vlog / weekly vlog, depending on how long I decide to do this. You are getting me like real and raw, barefaced, sweaty and gross because I just got back from a walk with my husband. Today is our 11-year wedding anniversary. We have been together for 13 years in July, but today on May 11th, this is our 11-year wedding anniversary, and I shared a reel over on my Instagram if you want to check that out. It was just like a compilation of pictures of us throughout the past 13 years of us being together, even though, like I said, 11 years married. But we did one of our favorite like pastimes. We went and we got those like nutrition shop teas, which are not great for you in excess, but every now and then I think they're great. We got those and we went for a little walk in the park. And before that, you had seen me start a book. Let me grab that. So I have Burntown by Jennifer McMahon. Let me preface this a little bit. If you are not new here on my channel, I used to talk quite a bit about Jennifer McMahon. I loved Jennifer McMahon. She was my first like real favorite author, I think. Well, maybe not. I did have like Neil Gaiman and V.E. Schwab, and then it was like Jennifer McMahon. But I had read like a lot of her books and really loved her books. Now, if you don't know anything about this author, she writes kind of a little bit of like mystery with paranormal with dual timelines, and her writing is really immersive, really atmospheric, really well done. So I used to rave about her like all the time. Sorry about the weird lighting. This is just the situation that I have with the sun coming through my blinds, but we're not here for perfectionism, so it's fine. But anyways, I used to really eat up her books, and lately I have just felt like I don't want to read like paranormal stuff anymore like that, or dark stuff that just does not bring me joy, but that might bring me anxiety, or that might make me feel a little uneasy. So this was the last book I had on my shelves to read by her, and it was supposed to be a little bit more thrillery, and I think it definitely is probably that. But I did start this book. I was buddy reading it with my friends Gwen and Hannah, and unfortunately I was like, please don't hate me, please. Like, I don't want to disappoint you. But I decided, I mean, I didn't get very far. I just kind of knew, and I think this was like the push that I needed. There's like a before section and then there's an after section. So I got one chapter. Well, I don't even think I got one chapter into that. I got like first page. So maybe like 35 pages, like this far. And I just realized like I'm just not I'm not going to read Jennifer McMahon anymore. Now, if any of the things that I mentioned about Jennifer McMahon are things that like interest you, she's a great author for those things. I just don't want to read that stuff anymore. So I'm unhauling that. And what that also like kind of, I'm really happy because I've been looking at my books on my shelves. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other Jennifer McMahon books other than this one. And it was the push that I needed to say, okay, I'm ready to unhaul these. I'm not going to reread them. I'm not going to recommend them to anybody in my close proximity because they're kind of dark. I mean, they're paranormal and they're very like dark. Not like super dark. Not like Karen Slaughter dark, but just like dark, you know. So that was the push I needed to say, okay, like I have enjoyed this author, but I don't have to own her books anymore. I do have a couple of signed books by her. I am posting those on my Pango shop. So if they're not already gone, you should check out my Pango bookshop and snag those up if they sound interesting to you. And that also was kind of the push I needed to also unhaul my Shay Earnshaw books. So one of them I don't care as much to unhaul, but I was like, I probably won't ever reread this, and that is The History of Wild Places. But I'm also unhauling The Wicked Deep, which also has a pentagram on the front of it. And it involves witchy possession stuff. So we're gonna unhaul that, and Winterwood. So those are all books that I really loved in my past, and they are really well written, and like I said, good for what they are. They are not life-giving to me, and they are probably not life-giving to others. And so I just don't want to read those anymore. So I'm just like getting rid of them. So I have quite the Pango haul in my Pango bookshop. So yeah, you should check that out if you're interested. Now, prior to my reading, you saw that I was at like a little greenhouse. We were in Amish country. So I don't know really where Amish live like across the states, but I know in the South here in Tennessee, there are a couple of different Amish communities, Mennonite communities. There is a difference, but there are different communities like that in the area. And we were in Amish country. We just took a random little excursion during work one day. A couple of my coworkers and my supervisor and everything, we just went out to a little greenhouse, nursery. That's the word I'm looking for. I did not buy any flowers because I'm trying to grow some zinnias right now anyways, or zinnias. How do y'all say that? Do you say it like zinnias or zinnias? Because I feel like there's a right way to say it, and it's probably zinnias. I think that's how Google says, but I feel like zinnias is like the southern way to say it, so let me know. But I'm growing those. And I'm not a plant mom. I don't have a green thumb. See, there's no green on this thumb. It's just not there. So I'm trying to make sure I can grow those before I buy anything else. But I just thought we're going to start this vlog doing that. I don't ever film any like extra vlog footage usually because I'm not really doing much. So yeah, I was like, we're just going to include this. So I did. And now, like I said, you're getting real raw, sweaty, gross, no makeup face me. I just about killed myself trying to go for a walk, like a really long walk, longer than, you know, like I said, went for a walk with the hubs, and my feet have blisters on them because I'm not active and I need to be, and I'm tired. And when I got done, I was like, I'm dizzy. My ears are ringing. My feet hurt. I feel like crap. I need food. So I got food and now I'm here. Now we're here. So I did, like I said, DNF Burntown. So obviously we're going to talk about what I'm reading next. But real quick, let me just do a little cleaning up and feeling a little better before we go forward. So that's better. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to really briefly tell you about this because I have a surprise date night. So I'm about to go on date night, but I did end up picking up Dear Henry, Love Edith by Becca Kinzer, which is my Revive book club pick for this month. So this is a Christian fiction romance novel, and it basically is about Henry and Edith, and they are, okay, so Henry gets a message from his niece, and she says, hey, Edith is supposed to be staying at this like B&B place that I have, but she, like, it flooded or something, so can she stay with you for a little bit? And Henry's like, sure, because he thinks that Edith is an old woman. Well, then Edith also thinks that Henry is an old man. And so they don't have the same schedules. They don't really run into each other. They don't realize who the other is. Meanwhile, in public, they actually meet in real life and start falling for each other and start writing letters to each other, like in the apartment, and not realizing that that's who the person was that they met outside of the apartment about each other, if that makes any sense at all. But probably doesn't, because I did a horrible job of explaining. But I started this, and I am on chapter 5, page 47. So far, I'm not absolutely loving it. There's a couple little qualms that I have with it in regards to Henry's current relationship and how he's acting about that. and just, I don't know, like there's just some weird, I was started to take notes on it so I could have something to talk about during book club. And I do think it's funny how they kind of misjudge each other as older people. But the first bit of this book, like especially the restaurant scene, if you know, you know, it just kind of stressed me out, like everything that happened there. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm unsure right now, but I'm going to keep reading it and I will update you all as I go through this. But right now, I'm going out for date night, so I will catch up with you all later.
I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems and all of my problems and maybe I need a break. Maybe that's why I fade into this bitter taste. I think I'll let it be.
Hello, it is Mother's Day and I don't have really much to report back to you all. I have not read any today. I did not end up reading any yesterday because it was such a long day. Today has been no different. I got up this morning, I spent time with the Lord, I watched a couple videos, I didn't post, but I took some pictures of some books to post on Pango. I had my Delight premiere and I recorded a book on haul, and now I'm on my way to my in-laws house and we are gonna have dinner, and then I'm gonna come home pretty quickly after that because we have the Hiding Place book discussion for Chris's Christian book read along, and I've got to get home for that. I'm not on it, but I'm gonna like participate. And so I'm just like, this has been such a busy weekend, but such a blessed one too. So sorry that I don't, and sorry for my camera handling, but sorry that I don't have like a book update yet, but I just wanted to check in today. But as soon as I have one on Dear Henry, Love Edith, it may be tomorrow night. Because I know Jessie from Reading with Jess, she always has sprints on Monday nights. So I know that if anything else, I will be able to hop on there and get some reading done. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I've been trying to vlog a little bit here and there, but had date night with the hubby last night. That was super good. We saw the little, like, not the constellations. We saw like the satellite stream thing that went across the sky. Still haven't seen those like lights in the sky, and we probably won't tonight either because it's going to be cloudy, which is a bummer, but it's okay. At least we got to see the little cool satellite thingy that came across the sky. And we had Indian food for dinner, which was interesting. It was good. It's not something I would want all the time. I can't even describe it if you've never had Indian food. Like, there's no way to describe it in equivalency to American food because, like, it doesn't taste the same as anything. Like, I couldn't tell you. So, but I had butter chicken, which is kind of in like a tomato gravy type sauce, with sticky rice and garlic naan bread, and then Will had chili chicken with the rice and regular naan bread. So it was good, but like I said, not something that I would want to eat all the time because it's just different. But anyways, okay, I will check in with you all later.
Hello, how'd you do? I'm not broken, I'm just split in two. Hope you're fine, ain't got time to do everything you said you would. Frames of the past and the memory of you just come running by. Pictures of sunny days with your smile in the park.
Y'all, this video's not going great. Okay, so I hesitate to talk about this prior to the book club discussion that I'm going to be having on my channel for Revive. However, I'm vlogging and this is what I'm reading, so I'm going to talk about it. I really don't like Dear Henry, Love Edith. I'm halfway through this book and I hate all the characters. I do not like this story. I do not like things that are happening. I do not like things that have happened. So many things are giving me the ick. So many things are making me angry. Like, when I read this book, my blood pressure goes up, I swear. And I just don't quite understand the hype around this book. As of right now, I'm like, this is a 1-star read. I would have DNF'd way before now if this was not a book club pick. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be flat out with y'all. Like, I don't, like, if you don't want to know, like, a trope in a book because it's a spoiler, then skip, like, I don't know, 30 seconds or so of this video. But I'm saying it right now. If you don't like cheating, emotional or physical cheating, like kissing or anything, you shouldn't read this because it's gonna make you mad. And I don't see how people read this and don't see that that's there. And it's not like it bothers me in everything, but this is supposed to be like a Christian romance. And I'm not saying that people aren't broken, that people don't make mistakes, that people can't have character development and redemption. But I do not like Henry or Edith. I especially don't like Henry. I'm not rooting for them. I don't care. And, you know, like, I potentially thought I might like the little town they were in. But then all of the townspeople were quite literally, I'm trying really hard not to say like stupid or dumb, but they were just so dumb in this one situation where somebody was hurt and they were like, oh, this isn't real. And like the unbelievability of this book. This is the type of Christian romance or Christian book that I have probably mentioned before on my channel, where I'm like, I used to be scared to read Christian books, like Christian fiction, because I didn't want them to be too corny or cringy. This is that. Like, this is that level of like, this is just not it that I'm at. So I'm probably not going to update on the book anymore until the end, and I'm probably still going to have the same thoughts. And I hate that, but like, I just have to be honest. And like, I don't know. It's hard for me because like, I don't want to be like not polite to the author about it, you know, like, but readers who like potentially may pick this up, I want to let you know, if you don't like these things, this may bother you. And it's just really annoying me. So I don't like this book at all, and I am so upset that I picked this for our Revive Book Club pick. I feel like people are having mixed reviews on it, but I'm seeing a lot of like mid, like 3 to 3.5 stars. But I just don't understand the 4 and 5 star ratings, y'all. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. And I don't see how this is a romance you want to root for, and I don't see how this is, like, this is just not, like, I would never want a man like that. And I just don't understand. And the mindset of, like, I don't know. I just don't get it. And I don't want to hear the whole, like, Ross and Rachel, we were on a break thing either. Because, like, Hannah had, like, equated it to that. And I'm like, there's not even established breaks here, okay? Like, and it's not even just that. It's just who these people are. Let's set all that aside. It's just who these people are. I'm just like, and maybe Edith is a little bit more, like, likable than Henry. But I just don't care, y'all. I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm sorry. But that's my update. Oh my goodness, this garbage truck. Sorry, I just like try to go around this garbage truck because it's, you know, garbage is flying out of the back of it, and now it just, I shouldn't film when driving because y'all, I have some road rage. Y'all just don't even know. It's not like the worst, but like, I just get kind of sassy. Anywho, I will update y'all when I have another update. I may try to add another book into this vlog that I might enjoy more. So like, maybe if I, you know, maybe if I like Better Than the Movies, which should be the next book that I start, then I'll include that in this vlog. Well, I'll try to include it anyways if I think I'll be able to finish it quick. So I'll keep y'all posted.
How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay. Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay. Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them. Try to be cool, even wear that shirt you wanted to. My friends think I'm lame. Since I met you, I am not the same. It was not meant to be a fairy tale with a happy end. Girl, you take care now.
It has been been a minute since I checked in, so I thought I would do another clip. So I have been reading The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom for a couple weeks now, and I finally finished it today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this and then tell you what I'm currently reading now. So when I first started The Hiding Place, which if you don't know what this is about, it follows the life of Corrie ten Boom. I think she was Dutch. Yeah. She was a Dutch watchmaker who became a heroine of the resistance, a survivor of Hitler's concentration camps, and one of the most remarkable evangelists of the 20th century. So you learn a little bit about Corrie's life and family prior to and leading into World War II. And then you see kind of what takes place as she and her family go through these different trials. There are raids and concentration camps. Her and her family are hiding Jews. And throughout all of this, Corrie and her family's faith shines through. This book, like, while at the beginning I felt a little bored because I'm not used to reading a lot of memoirs, this book was so powerful and so impactful. If you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it, especially if you like World War II or just historical fiction type stories. This is not a fiction story. This is all based on true accounts of Corrie's life, what she saw, and different things like that. But her and her sister Betsy, just the supernatural faith that they had to have to endure what they went through, and the way that they functioned in life, the way that they functioned going through all of these trials and tribulations is just something unimaginable to me. To be in such predicaments that they were in, and to see God in everything, like even as small as a flea, if you know, you know. And it is just so powerful. So I highly recommend you read this story if you haven't already. The second half of the book was much more entertaining for me. I hate to say it like that because this is a book about war, but the first part was more just getting to know Corrie and her family, and the second part was more like once the war was going on, what they faced. So it was very, very good, and I'm landing on a 4-star rating for this. But it is Friday, the 17th, and I'm on reading sprints with Hannah and Keely on Hannah's channel, and we are all buddy reading Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So my initial predictions before starting this book were that, one, I was nervous. Like, I'm hoping that this can be like a 4-star read for me, but I feel like it could be a 3 or a 4. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star, like even as I've started it and prior to. And that is because in the past I haven't loved YA romance. I like YA romantasy. I do like some YA romance, like I like the Selection series, which that's a little bit more like fantasy-ish. I like the Summer I Turned Pretty series, if that counts. But other than that, anything else on my shelves that is YA is like YA romantasy. So I don't always love like the teen angst or a school setting, like in a high school or anything like that. And I know this is set around that. But I've heard nothing but great things about Lynn Painter, so I knew I wanted to give this book a try. And also, it has quotes from different rom-coms at the beginning of each chapter. So on the prologue, the first one is from Notting Hill, and it says, "I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love her." So you have a different quote at the beginning of each chapter, and it follows these high schoolers, Liz and Wes, and they are, I think this is like an enemies to lovers. They're like next door neighbor enemies. And I don't really know what happens. I know there's a prom. I know that they're gonna probably fall in love. I mean, I think this is them on the cover. And yeah, that's all I really know about it. And so far, I have read the prologue and chapter 1, so I'm on page 23. And I think it's fine so far. I don't like dislike it, but I don't love it. So I like it fine. But I think I'm gonna have to get a little bit more into it to decide like really in-depth thoughts. So I'm enjoying it okay so far. And I'm about to check in with Hannah and Keely to see what they're thinking about it too, and I will keep you all posted on my thoughts. All right, I'm finished with my sprints with Hannah and Keely, and so far I am 90 pages into this book. And at first, like the first 50 pages, I was not sure because I was like, this is so high school. I feel like I'm having to put my mind in a teenager's mind, and it has been a while since I have been there. Like, I mean, I know it's not been that long, but it feels like it's been that long since I've been there. It's been over 10 years, you know, so I was like, okay. And then I was like, I don't know about this. Like, this girl has this attitude of like, oh, well, she gets everything that I don't have, or she has everything that I don't have. And I was like, no, like, I don't relate with that. But then you see more of Wes. Did I tell y'all what this? Yeah, I did tell y'all what this book is about. But you see more of Wes. And I think he is adorable. He is so stinking cute. I love him. We love Wes over here. So I think we're all enjoying the book. I feel like Keely and Hannah are pretty dead set on a 5-star, even though we're not done with it yet. I feel like I'll probably be like a 4, maybe. That's my prediction at this point. So I don't know. It's cute. I like it. So I'll keep y'all posted. I'll probably read a little bit more over the weekend. Maybe I'll finish it over the weekend. That would be awesome, because then I could finish or start my last book of the month and maybe get through the couple of nonfiction that I still have going. Let me show y'all what I have going. So I have this one carried over from last month. It's Everyday Faithfulness by Glenna Marshall. I'm on chapter 5. I'm on page, does this have page numbers? 81. And there are 159 pages. So that's doable if I could just sit down and get to it. And then I have When Words Matter Most, Speaking Truth with Grace to Those That You Love. I love the cover of this, by the way. So aesthetically pleasing. And I'm just a little bit into this one. I'm on page 49. And this one has, let's see, 203 pages. So, yeah. Maybe I can get through these 2 in the next week or 2. But I would like to just kind of finish my TBR early. That would be awesome. And just have some time to relax. So, yeah. We'll see. But I'll keep y'all posted on future things.
I hope we can be friends. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay. Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know.
Y'all, I read this in like less than 24 hours in 2 sittings. So this is probably one of those books I should have tabbed. This is probably one of those books that I should have updated you all on, but I was just honestly enjoying being present and reading. So this book was such an unexpected surprise for me. I knew that I would probably like it, but I didn't know how much I would love it. Because it's a YA romance, and I don't really tend to love a lot of YA romances, but this one was so cute. I did at some points, like at the very beginning of the story and then in other parts of the story, kind of have to put myself in the mind of a teenager and how maybe I would be or how maybe a teenager would be in some scenarios, but this was so good. It dealt with like so many different things of like just teenage love and feeling like you know what you want or what you need in life, but then maybe it's something different. Also, there is the theme of grief throughout this one and how that affects somebody and how they live their life and what they think they want out of life. So there are so many different good things in this. There were so many cute moments, but I absolutely just love Wes. He did make me mad a couple of times. But again, anything that I got mad about, I kind of just had to disregard because this is teenagers and they're going to act some type of way sometimes. But overall, like, I think it's probably a 4.5 star, but I'm going to give it a 5 star because, like I said, the 4.5 star is only because of me getting upset at a couple little things, but because they're teenagers and this is kind of how they think at that age. And I'm just trying to remember back to when I was a teenager and how I was. So this is just so cute. It was so bingeable, and I love the audiobook for this one too. There's just so much to love about it. I adored the rom-com elements. I adored like the main character, Liz. She likes to put soundtracks to different moments in life, and I love that. And there were just so many, I don't know, like so many songs, so many movies mentioned. Like I mentioned before, there are different movie quotes at the beginning of each chapter, and it was just adorable. I think this was such a good read. It's well worth the read if you're at all interested in it. I think there's a sequel coming out in September, but I don't know if I'm going to pick it up because of the way the synopsis said it was going to go. And I'm not a huge fan of like conflict and stuff like this. And I think that's because I'm very straightforward. Like anything in this that I was like a little iffy about was because of miscommunication or a lack of. And that's always something that irritates me. I know sometimes you wouldn't have a story without it, but and I'm not going to say that's like, I know some people are like, oh, miscommunication, I don't want to read that. It's not done in this like it's done in other things, so don't let that deter you. It's not like a huge thing. But as someone who my whole life, I've just been very forward about like what I think about things, especially like in relationships. If I liked somebody, I was going to tell them I liked them, and that was just the end of it. Like I just never, I don't know, I didn't go through things like this. And I don't know if people do, maybe people do go through things like how rom-coms say things, how books say things. But it was never like a complicated story for me. And I don't know. It's just a weird thing. So sometimes I have trouble relating on that front, but it was such a sweet story. And yeah, it's a 5-star. I am gonna go ahead and wrap up this vlog here. So I will just like quickly recap what I read during this vlog. So the initial book that I was trying to read for this vlog is Burntown by Jennifer McMahon. However, I have decided that while Jennifer McMahon was one of my all-time favorite authors, I just have developed new taste in books and I just don't think that spooky paranormal stories like this are gonna be my cup of tea. But I think I already mentioned this. If anything that I mentioned previously, or if any of those things sound good to you, Jennifer McMahon is a great writer and she does a great job of weaving a story together, but I just don't think she's going to be for me. And I DNF'd this one at, let's see, what page was I on? I'll tell you why I DNF'd. It's just because I didn't want to put a bad taste in my mouth for this author because I had really loved her before. So I DNF'd at page 33. So that's how far I got before I DNF'd. And I know that's not very far, but I just kind of knew. Then I read my book club pick, which is Dear Henry Love Edith, and I had a lot to say about this one. I'm just very sorely disappointed in this book. I expected it to be a 4-star at the very least for me, or maybe even a 3, but I just do not get the hype behind this one. And I want to tread lightly saying that, but at the same time, like I truly just don't understand like how some things could happen in this book and like people still love it. That's not treading lightly, but I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. And I know there's other books that, like, other people would say the same things about that I've loved. So it's just a matter of reading taste, I think, too. But there were just some things I could not get past in this one. And I hate that this was the book for my book club pick for Revive this month. But I've heard some people 5-starred it. Some people have really loved it. Hi, Jovi. Hi, baby. Hi, sweet girl. She's so sweet. But yeah, it just was not for me. I could not deal with the way that the relationship was handled in this, or the side relationships, or anything else, and just the immaturity and ignorancy of the townspeople. Like, I just could not get behind this. So unfortunately, this was a 1-star for me, and I don't typically give out 1-stars because normally I would DNF before I got to that point, and I would have had this not been my book club pick, but I just cannot recommend this book. Then I didn't really talk a lot about it, but I did read The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom, and I really liked this one. It started out rocky for me just because I'm not used to reading a lot of memoirs, and because it was kind of boring just setting up the family, because it's like a normal family, or normal family, what is a normal family, but it didn't really get into the action or the intense parts of the story until halfway through, and that's where it picked up for me. But just seeing the supernatural faith of this family and these women and what they went through is incredible and so encouraging and so just like enlightening too, just to know, like, I don't know, like what would you do in situations like this? You know, you just never know, and I think God can give you the strength to get through anything, especially based on reading Corey's story. So this was a 4-star read for me. And then of course the last book that I just finished was Better Than the Movies, and this is a 5-star. So I would say that, like, I mean, I've kind of I had like a DNF, a 1-star, a 4-star, and a 5-star. So we just went uphill from here. So that is good. But I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of casual reading vlog. I didn't really have a lot of plans for it. I just thought I would vlog here and there, and that's kind of what I did. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me, what kind of emoji do I want? Leave me like a music emoji down below, because soundtracks, I know it's like rom-com-y, but soundtracks, headphones, music, whatever. Leave me one of those emojis down below if you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.
Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them.